Released on July 1st, 2009, Public Enemies is a true story about the life of 1930s gangster John Dillinger, played rather mindlessly by Johnny Depp. Christian Bale and Marion Cotillard round out the supporting cast. Now, usually this is where I would summarize the plot of the movie for you, but you know what? That takes up too much time and you've had a week to look it up, so it's your own fault if you don't know what's going on. Anyway, this film is based on a true story, which unfortunately means that 1. You already know how it's going to turn out, and 2. Plot twists and excitement are usually hard to find. Like most of director Michael Mann's films, Public Enemies was profitable at the box office, despite being an utter waste of time. But Mann certainly knows how to shoot a film. The one positive thing I can say about Public Enemies is that it was beautifully shot, which is especially impressive considering the entire movie was filmed in HD rather than traditional 35mm film. Mann, however, is also notorious for self-indulgently long films. Heat, Miami Vice, Collateral, all films that I kind of enjoyed but also wish were about 45 minutes shorter. Public Enemies overstays its welcome, well beyond the 100-minute mark. The runtime isn't so much of the problem as the boring characters are. I can't remember the last time I watched a movie where I felt absolutely no compassion or empathy for any of the characters. Not a line of dialogue was memorable in this film. None of the actors' performances were anywhere near what they're capable of. I mean, Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, shooting guns at each other in a gangster film? I mean, you would have to go out of your way to make this movie bad. And that's exactly what they did with this boring, uninspired movie that kind of muddles its way along with no regard for plot advancement, character development, or historical accuracy. There's a scene near the end of the film where Dillinger unashamedly swaggers into the Chicago Police Department, and he checks out the bulletin board with his wanted poster on it. The camera proceeds to pan across all of the fellow gangster buddies who have died along the course of the movie. In any other film, this sort of shot would have invoked some sort of emotional response from the viewer. But I found myself watching this scene and going, oh, so that guy was supposed to be Babyface Nelson? This movie frankly sucked, and I'll be honest with you, I fell asleep watching this movie for about 15 minutes. I missed nothing. But the old-fashioned gangster prison escapes and the gun shootouts were really cool. That's what I thought about it. Let's take a look at the YouTube comments. Bleh49 wrote, Public Enemies was an amazing movie in my opinion. Johnny Depp and Christian Bale cast perfectly for their roles and acted them in such a way that kept me wanting to watch. The story is one that captivates you and keeps you glued to the screen until the end. I give it a 9 out of 10. Film Padwan wrote, Public Enemies had lots of potential but the story was underdeveloped, and Michael Mann cannot tell a story to save his life. I was disappointed. Newly designed for this week, let's bring in the Rate-O-Matic, now with 2 separate columns, one for my rating and one for your rating. Let's see how Public Enemies did. Wow. Clearly you guys were able to overlook the abysmal character development. You gave the film a 7, a cool. I, however, was not able to overlook that. I had to score it down. I give it a 4, meh.